Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and God bless you and welcome to the Wiley Drake Show. This is the Wiley Drake Show. We're broadcasting to you live today on location, and we're broadcasting from one of my favorite on-location spots, and that happens to be a Starbucks coffee shop. I am in Starbucks and I'm out of town. I'm not in Buena Park. I'm not in Washington, D.C. I am out of town. In fact, the matter is, I'm not even sure what town I'm in. I know I'm not in Buena Park, and I know I'm not in Washington, but what city I'm in, I have no idea. But we do want to talk to you today about what's going on in our little town. I am out of town today. Buena Park had a meeting last night, and one of those kind of meetings that you might want to go back and look at. We did actually 2 one-hour shows there at the city of Buena Park the last evening, and they sort of culminated their show in the second hour with a special meeting, a special scheduled meeting that had to be held on time. They had a meeting at 6 p.m. They start their meetings at about 5, and then they schedule a public meeting if public is invited to comment on whatever is going on. They have to have it at the exact time. So last night we did our show from 5 until about 50 minutes after the hour, and then they took a break and then reconvened at 6 a.m. where they dealt with a very long, ongoing, even the staff admitted that this project has been off again, on again, since back in early 2000, I think 2003 or 4, something like that. And they said this particular project, we'll talk more about the project in a little bit, but the particular project has been going on, and they've been off again, on again, and we'll talk more about that later. However, I do want to remind you that if you'd like to make a comment, I'm going to try to get this and see if I can. Brother Roger, are you there? Okay, Brother Roger, I'm on location today, and I'm not really sure how everything is working, but I can hear you loud and clear, and that's...
I'm trying to call you on the other line, and I'm just on perpetual hold.
I understand, and I appreciate it. That's on the 712 number?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're having some problem with that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wiley Drake Show. We are live, and we are on with our intelligence briefing officer internationally, Brother Roger Angus. So, Brother Roger, please sort of overlook the noise at my on-location studio at Starbucks and give us your report, would you please?
All right. New York is starting to go crazy. Well, they've been that way for a while.
Yeah.
What they're doing is when a person that has a concealed carry permit passes away, they go to the house and take all of his guns.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, he might have willed them to his wife, his kids, or what have you, but they ignore that aspect of the law, and what they say is they don't want these guns to be, landed in some, in the wrong hands. So they're going in and stealing private property and forcing the people to let them do this. That's called speed, isn't it, Pastor Wiley?
Well, you're right, brother. We're in a similar situation, not with weapons or anything, but in a similar situation here in Buena Park. They are going to our property at our homeless shelter today. I'm not there. I'm out of town. But they're going there And in my opinion, they are in violation of the Fourth Amendment. And I believe what you're talking about is also a violation. And I would share this Fourth Amendment again for all of us, and then have you comment and lead us as you see fit. The Fourth Amendment says the right of the people to secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizure shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Now, it sounds like to me they have violated the Fourth Amendment rights of these dear people simply by trying to say they're doing it all on the auspices of safety, and they're taking away private property. So go ahead with your report.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing. The left is doing everything it possibly can to take guns away from people. And this is just another thing that they're doing in the process of doing that. Now, whether these people ever get these guns back or not, because they have, there's a law that they have that allows them to do that under certain circumstances. Now, if the weapons, now they do this with weapons and ammunition.
Can you hold on just a minute? This is Pastor Wiley. I've got my intelligence briefing officer on. I'll let you listen to him, and I'll get to you.
If these poor people ever get their weapons back, some of these could be, they could have been weapons that have been in the family for years. Passed down from grandfather to father and so forth. That's the way the left operates.
Yeah.
And there's another deal with guns. There's somebody breaks into your house, you've got to go find your gun. You got to find the key, unlock it before you can defend yourself. That's stupidity on steroids.
Well, you're absolutely. That's what I call an SOS situation. And my little saying there is SOS, stuck on stupid.
Yeah. I know there's, I don't recall which state it is. One state requires the gun to be in one locked cabinet and the ammunition to be in another locked cabinet. In your own home.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness.
So you've got to unlock the cabinet, get your gun, unlock the gun, and then go unlock the cabinet to get the ammo for the gun. They can't be in the same room.
Unbelievable.
I mean, the stupidity of that is just, it's almost unheard of. But, that's what the left does. They do everything they possibly can. I put a post on Facebook the other day concerning the government trying to take guns. And I said that was one of the most active posts that I had put in quite a while. A couple people were commenting in there. There's nobody out there trying to take anybody's gun. Apparently, that person didn't own a gun because they didn't have a clue as to what's going on.
Yeah.
I have people, because I conceal carry. And sometimes in the summer, it's not the easiest thing to conceal because you're trying to dress, so that you don't roast.
Yeah.
And I've had some people, tell me that, there is no need to do that. When you tell people in the rural theater, that you tell the people in Sandy Hook that, you tell people Columbine that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that just doesn't cut it. And
well, Brother Roger, can I put you on hold? Just hold on just a moment. Do we have another caller on this line? Are you there? Okay, I tell you what, go ahead. Could you hear Brother Roger then? Not really well. Okay. All right. Well, let me do this. Let me ask you to go ahead. Brother Roger's on hold. He's our intelligence briefing officer, and I'm on location, so we're sort of struggling through the electronics here. Would you please identify yourself, if you don't mind? Tell us where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Rick Dash, and I'm calling from the Minneapolis area. And I just had an article put out called basically Hollywood needs Sunday school.
Hollywood what? I'm sorry?
Hollywood needs Sunday school. And I had talked to Mr. Bosworth earlier today and wanted me to call in.
Well, I thank you for calling in. Did you have a press release on Christian Newswire? Okay, well, we'll encourage our friends to go to Christian Newswire to see your press release. They do an excellent job. But tell us a little bit about what we're going to find when we read your press release. Would you?
Basically, over the last couple years at least, there have been some Bible films that have come out, like Noah and Son of God, and the Bible miniseries on the History Channel. And a lot of the material that has been presented has been biblically inaccurate. And sadly, there's lots of nationally known clergy and others that have been endorsing and pushing this kind of material. And in my opinion, if you have a Bible documentary called the Bible, it should be the Bible. It should be the Bible as written. And I understand that there's, financial restraints and different things like that, but there's been some pretty strange films that have been coming out. There's one coming out in September on the Exodus.
Well, we certainly encourage our friends to go to your press release, and we certainly, at the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C., we are very, very concerned about, first of all, we're concerned about movies in general, and we're secondly concerned about the fact that Hollywood has basically left its original charter, and the original charter, of course, goes back to the early days when all we had were silent movies, but early on, the Christian church, the leaders in America, wanted to use that kind of thing to indeed promote the gospel. And they started doing that, and then they got away from that, unfortunately. And one of the things that we've been praying for, and I work very closely with the National Prayer Embassy, and we do indeed a Hollywood prayer tour on every third Saturday in the month. And so we agree with you, brother. The title, ladies and gentlemen, of this gentleman's press release on our dear friends, this is Rick Dack, and his press release says Hollywood needs Sunday schools. And brother, I happen to agree with you completely. And I am very pleased and proud that Hollywood has at least made some kind of consecrated effort to come up with some other movies and so forth. The one that we just were over in Hollywood at the premiere release was one called God the Father. And it's a movie about Michael Franzese, who was in the La Cosa Nostra, was a leader, was a mob boss, etc., etc. And he's the only man, according even to the secular press, he's the only man that has ever left the mob and lived to tell about it. So I saw that movie. It is a good movie. It's a good movie for two aspects. Number one, if you as a member of the general public, whatever your religious background is or not, if you're interested in knowing a little bit about the mob, you can go to see that movie. But also in that movie, Michael Franzese made it very clear that if he would make the movie, he had to tell and had to be the truth, i.e. about his coming to know Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, and that is in the movie, and it does a good job. So, in reference to your article, I've not had a chance to read it, and I am on location, but you talk about a return to Bible basics as the core of ministry classes, and this, of course, is needed for Hollywood. What else will we find in your press release?
Well, it basically discusses, what I do in my presentation.